special edition of the Janha show.
Yeah, don't play music.
Go-getter, I get what I want. I'm an African transformer, value chains.
I am the women leader, advocate for women's health.
I am a champion for change.
I am a proud African.
We are...
Ready? Hi, welcome to the special edition of the Janha show. I am Mrs. Janha, your host. We're here at the United Nations Women's and we are beautiful, amazing, bringing you from and exactly what we do to the United Nations.
I am Marinela Azemia. I come from the Republic of Seychelles, an island in the middle of the Indian Ocean, quite far from Europe. Currently, I am a woman leader for civil society. I work with women, I work in gender issues, social issues, I work with children, with dropouts from schools, I work with single mothers. Now I've got a national platform for civil society that was transformed 4 years ago. I am on the national board of this civil society platform as the director, as the secretary to the board. For that, I was the chairperson of the liaison unit platform for NGOs in the country. I am working with women, with single mothers, with girls who have dropped out from schools. I do a lot of programs. I do a lot of projects, giving skills, giving knowledge, mobilizing young parents to come together to understand what their role are in society. I teach them, I use civic education, I teach them their rights. So we are very busy from the 1st of January to the 31st of December working with these women, with these young mothers. For the time being, we don't encounter social problems because as you all know over the world, just like in our country, our young girls have a lot of social problems because right now teenage pregnancy is on the increase. So my mission is to work with them, teach them, mobilize them, bring them to understand their role as mothers, the value that they have as a human being, and why they should, those who have children, care for their children, care for themselves, and develop them for them to become better citizens. So we are always writing projects. I am heading this organization, which is called Women in Partnership Against Poverty, to ensure that our young mothers, our young girls, when they drop out from school, they do not into the pocket of poverty.
I gotta tell you, you're such a woman with so many pride. You know, you're standing here with dignity and pride, and all the stuff that you're doing to help people. How does that make you feel?
I really feel happy. I really feel complete when I work for these people. It is for this reason that people have recognized all the deeds, all the work that I am doing. This platform for civil society last year launched a volunteers award for the first time in the Republic of Seychelles, and I became the first runners-up,
Wow.
the recipient of that Volunteers Award program.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And right now, because I was the recipient for the runners-up award, I am an ambassador, a volunteers ambassador in the country.
Congratulations for a huge and big accomplishment, and of course a great title. But talk to us about you being here today, being here at the United Nations Women for Empowering Women. You know, how does that feel? And what is something that you're taking here today and taking back to your country?
Oh, anyway, it's great for me to be here. When I was nominated, I was invited. I accepted the invitation immediately because I realized that I knew the criteria they were asking for. Now, being here is a great opportunity because I have been able to meet with a lot of women of all ranks and classes. Myself, I was a former member of parliament, so I met a lot of former MPs. I met a lot of ministers. More importantly, I am networking now. I've started networking with a few leaders of civil society. Those great women are very great. We have been discussing a lot. We have been talking about the work that we're doing. In fact, it's an opportunity for me and others for us to exchange our experiences in the work that we are doing. I have been able to gather a lot from them, from the discussions that took place inside in the sessions, the different sessions, but I have been able to also share my own experiences just as I'm doing with now with you. So I feel great and I feel happy, and I know that when I go back home, I am like this. I've got more information to share, more information to bring back home, so that I can now pass on to the other women whom I'm working with.
Amazing, it's great, it is beautiful. So tell me, you know, what is one thing that you want the rest of the women to know about being here today, and personally coming from you? What message do you have for the rest of the women that are watching the show today?
Yes, I want them to know that what we are discussing here, one good thing that has come out is for people to understand who they are, people to value themselves, women value themselves as women, women to get up, women to organize themselves, women to mobilize other women in order for us to come together, to work for the interest of them, for their own interest, and to ensure that together we are speaking the same voice. What are we speaking about? We are speaking about the development of each woman, each individual. We are talking about the development.
I started by the one that have done most of the document in DBC. Thank you for doing that for us. She is here in front of us. We have somebody like Yasin Fall, Telma Awori, you name them, Musembi. Those are women that you find everywhere that have been working with us. We have women also that are coming from conflict zone. You make sure that the South Sudanese women behave, please. They are here. Women, the delegation of DRC is a very strong delegation. Thank you, Madam Minister, and by leading this, and the women in party in the DRC who's leading one of the party, but also we have a strong civil society. Just to name a few of them. We have the diaspora with us. Diaspora, thank you, Mama, by being with us. We always say the diaspora is the other regions of Africa, and we need to see you. So finally, we have also not just the media. They are here, and it's very good that we are covered by the media, but we have the young people who have been driving the force of this discussion to say we need to be at the heart of this. Somebody who started by, who have been at the O level is the elder, Mama Mongela. Mama Mongela always says, I want to see a movement. In my life before, and I follow you everywhere. You have been also. You say Binta, Binte. You call me Binte, not even Binte. Binte, I wanted a movement. And I said, I'm scared of a movement. But again, you are coming back with this idea to say Africa needs to unite. This is what we used to do we wanted to see that movement. So I think I'm not going to name everybody in this room, and you really forgive me if I left somebody, but it's not intentional. I just wanted to say in this room there are competent women, from the young people, from the diaspora, from the whole region of Africa. And my sister Leila was at the UN just reminded us to say Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, all of you, you have to be around the region. Central Africa, sometimes we leave them, Kelma. We say that Central Africa, we need to bring them at the front also, because this is where the crisis is most, and we need to mobilize Central Africa, but also bringing our sisters in North Africa. Maintenant, vous me permettez de parler de roadmap. J'étais assise en écoutant ce qui se passe. Parce que tout ce qu'on voit également au niveau de l'Union africaine, la transformation qui se passe, et Dr. Boutera l'a rappelé. Ce que nous constatons, c'est que quand les femmes sont dans une position
Yes, I think it is very important to find a high-level event which creates also public attention to the demands and to the discussions that we have there. Well, I think I've shared some of my ideas with you today. It's a pleasure to be here, and we will be at your side if you want us to, also for the next years to come. Thank you very much.
And you started by highlighting a very important fact. Germany is supporting, but the will and the initiation is of that of African women. And this is where we need to emphasize. You've also spoke about what Ms. Diop and Komzilla mentioned before, which is having role for women, not only on track 2, but also on track 1, where we need to see more women on the negotiation tables for peace and for tomorrow. It is a meeting for transformation, and what we have done over the past few hours that we put and disseminated to all of you a draft of a call of action for the network. It is our colleagues have tried as much as possible to capture all the input from the floor. It is generic, and it also at the same time specific. Generic in the way that it contains all the specific demands that were put and the suggestions, but also it encompasses them under a more strategic umbrella. We do recommend that you go over those and then you send your comments to the colleagues by emails, and we will make sure that they are incorporated.
Thank you very much. I thought the elder was going to give the points, and he still went round and round. So let me refocus the thinking. I've seen a 2-page draft here. I've seen a 2-page draft of call of action. Indeed, I value time, and for every time you must really account that you have done something sensible and reasonable. I want to thank the drafter of this call of action. I want to go direct to action number 7. Action number 7. The rest of it is, I do agree with it. I just want to improve on action number 7. Building solidarity among African women and cultivating strategic partnership among existing and emerging networks, including the global networks with similar objectives. I just wanted to say, make reference to what Madame said. She was very specific, and I thought our action point would be saying that we would be going to, she mentioned the countries, she did mention South Sudan, and countries where, because in South Sudan there is war now, and countries where election is going to take place. So our action point here on point number 7 should include these countries where women are going to run for elections and how and when we shall be going to visit these countries in relation to building solidarity with them. And I also want to see that the name of South Sudan is very clear, that we will be visiting South Sudan among those other countries. Point number 7 is mobilization of funds. The lady seated, that is point number 9. The lady seated just next to Mr. Mohammed, the one in Tenge, she mentioned something I thought which was very important that we needed to capture here. She said the German government is going to give us, the women leaders, support, the African women leaders, financial support, and already they are supporting us. And she did mention that we needed to contribute some money. It was not very clear. I thought this point would capture how much we are going to contribute. If it is $100 per head here we have money, we put our hands in our pocket and put it on the table. But my question is, what is going to be the account number? And who is going to manage these finances? It's accountability. Because we need transparency and accountability. So this has to be clear. These action points, we have to thrust it out. Even if it is the last thing we're doing here before we launch. We must go item by item and conclude. It's only 2 pages. You can't leave it hanging and you go back. How do you travel all the way from Africa to Europe, to US, and you go back and leave the action hanging? So for me, that will be my contribution. I think that we should conclude and go and launch. Finally, on the task force. I know we don't have time, but Africa is such a big continent. We have different regions. You're going to tell me that we would have to get ourselves, I come from East Africa, that all the countries in East Africa would converge in for selfish reasons, which is that you'll converge in Kampala to elect a leader to represent East Africa in the task force. This is not going to happen because when we get back, we are very busy on other issues. So we might not get the chance to even converge as our regions to come and elect a leader. So I would think that we would at least elect the task force from here.
Please be pertinent, Madam Minister.
This is my last point.
Please.
We would get and elect the task force here. I don't know how many people we need in the task force and when the task force is going to run. Okay, in the vacuum, in the interim, who is running the task force if you think we should do it later. Thank you very much.
Notre continent, la mère Afrique, qui est la mère de l'humanité. Merci à ceux qui nous ont invités et merci à tout le monde. Unis, nous sommes fortes. Nous commençons par l'ONU Femmes. Maman Poumzile. C'est comme ça que nous appelons. Voilà, l'ONU Femmes est là. Alors, et les suivants, c'est l'Union africaine, notre maman Afrique, et sera donné par la ministre honoraire Marie-Madeleine Kala. À Maman Bineta Diop, que nous appelons chère Mabinta Diop. C'est aussi pour toi, aussi, qui est Union africaine. Voilà.
Je suis amie du groupe des sages de l'Union africaine.
Et puis à l'Allemagne, l'Allemagne qui a compris qu'il faut travailler avec les femmes.
Waouh!
Real. Yeah. Hey.
Women who are pathfinders in business, and we have young women who have achieved much more than some of us will achieve in our lifetime. This is a network that can ensure that we address the issues of violence against women in Africa, the issues of representation of women at the highest and all decision-making bodies in Africa, that will ensure that we address the issue of girls' education, and that we grapple and end the issue of child marriage. This is a network of activists that will also ensure that Africa takes its place at a global stage. We are launching an African network that will act in Africa, but will be integrated and will make a difference everywhere in the world, in solidarity with all our sisters and brothers in the whole world. And we thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Executive Director, and for pointing out not only the importance of this network, but really
the capacity to strategize on the transformation of Africa. For the various sessions, you were able to voice and find solutions to the importance of women's participation in sustainable development, conflict prevention, and peace building, and to give a strong position on the importance
in all aspects of life. E15 is a key precursor, it's a key condition to sustainable peace and development. And it's really a matter of efficiency. Women's participation needs to inform and increasing process, much more increasing processes, greater outreach, identification, prioritization, and addressing of protection needs, particularly when it comes to sexual and gender-based violence. I would like to pay tribute to the Commission of the African Union, UN Women and Germany for this initiative.